Welcome to the Dusk FSM. So you've signed up for the Dusk FSM and you're looking at a screen like this? On the way in, you might have answered some questions about whether you're working with customers, with assets, and the type of work that you do in the field. Now you've got a job that's been created here, and you're probably wondering what to do with it. Let's jump in. So the default job that is created as part of the sign up for Dusk FSM is something we call a single task job, intended for a single field visit. We can see that this job is unassigned and ready to be scheduled. Under work type, the field forms that are associated with the job, in this case one called generic field service forms. This is fine to see what the Dusk FSM does, but is generic in nature. But what if you want to create a form that is highly relevant for your business or workflow? Let's do it by creating a new form. We'll call this one Walkthrough Form. Now this takes us to a screen that is the form generator. We've got a blank page here, we can drag widgets over manually, enter in a ChatGPT prompt, or you can upload a file here if you've got one. In this case, we're just going to use a ChatGPT prompt. We're going to say this is a walkthrough form, and I want to have a job walkthrough for a rental property inspection. Then we'll click Generate. Now the form has been generated. We can scroll through and review what has been created. We've got a map, we've got some tick box options, a date picker, and some text fields. If we want to make adjustments, we can do that. Let's add an extra tick box option for no parking. Let's also add a container, split it in two, and put two signature fields in there. One for the tenant and one for the property inspection manager. We'll tick required to ensure the forms can't be submitted without signatures. We can give the container a name and show or hide that name in the field. This helps with identification for editing in future without showing the name to your field technicians. Now that the field form has been created, we're going to jump over to the job settings and create a new job type called Walkthrough Job and link the form to it that we just created. We can see the generic field service forms job type here that was created automatically on signup. We can add more forms here to the same job type later, such as safety forms, etc. Let's put a specified time for the job here, which saves us entering it each time we create a job. If a description is needed in the Dusk FSM app for this job type, tick that box. SLAs can be added here and even linking to a specific customer. We'll save this and go into the job, and under Forms, we can add a form. We'll select Walkthrough Job Type Form. Now that the form is linked, the next thing to do is give the job a description. We can either select an existing customer or create a new one. Let's create a new customer. This can be done from this screen or from the Operations Then Customer menu on the left. If we want to assign staff now, we can click Assign Staff. We can choose a technician or contractor. Let's add a new staff member. There are a few important details to complete here for their role and team. These can be modified under the Personnel menu later as needed. We can select our new customer, called Walkthrough Customer, from the drop-down menu that also pre-populates the address that we chose. The next step is to set a start date and a due date. We'll choose Monday, the 8th of December for the job. For this example, we'll just pick our new technician, Sarah Doe. We can also attach any files, photos, or documentation that the field technicians may need once they are on site. Now let's dispatch the job. From the life ring icon on the top menu, select Get the App and enter the email address of your field technician. This will send an email that looks like this. Other views available for managing your work are the Gantt, Calendar, Kanban, and Map views. There is a shortcut to the Gantt view from the top menu. Let's click it. Job details are visible by clicking on the job, and also the ability to reschedule the job. This is the same for Calendar. You can reschedule the job and then choose Schedule, which sends a read-only summary to your field technician or Schedule and Dispatch, which has access to complete the job. When your field technician arrives on the job site, they will fill out the walkthrough form and update the job status. Once the job is marked complete and it is showing the same status on the job summary view, you can either invoice directly in Dusk FSM, connect to QuickBooks Online or Xero, or sync job completion back to another platform, such as HubSpot, for invoicing, depending on your workflow. Alternatively, just syncing back to your asset system or source of truth is available. When that comes in, you'll see the job status updated, and you'll be able to review the form results right here in the job record. Any flags raised from the field will appear in the job as well, so you can action those quickly. We cover how they can create flags, add messages, and extra forms in another video. Now, in the completion stage, this is where you confirm the job closeout. You can check the forms are complete, validate any final notes, and make sure everything is ready for invoicing or sync. So that is the basic job flow end-to-end. Create the job, link the form, assign staff, set dates, schedule and dispatch, capture field work, and close out with invoicing or sync. Now, if you're at level 1, that's all you need. You're creating jobs, dispatching them, and completing work. If you're moving into level 2, that's where you add staff business rules. Constraints like required skills, crew requirements, regions, and contractor eligibility. That way, when the job is created, it already knows who it should be going to, and dispatch becomes much faster. And then level 3 is where we bring in optimization. That uses those rules plus travel, time windows, and workload to suggest the best placement for the job. You don't have to use all of that on day one. You can start simple and grow into it. Alternatively, if you're only looking to capture field forms, you can also do that without scheduling. You can create a form-based job, assign it if you want, and let the field team capture results without needing a dispatcher. So in Dusk FSM, we support all of those paths. Basic jobs, jobs with staff rules, optimized dispatch, and forms-only completion from the office or field. And that means you can pick what suits your business today, and then expand over time as your needs grow. So that's the end of this walkthrough. You've seen how a single task job is created, how forms are linked, how staff are assigned, and how the work moves through schedule and dispatch before field completion and invoicing or sync. Thanks for watching, and check out the next videos for staff rules, optimization, and the different scheduling views.